Hey, good Monday morning, G-Force. Hey, I'm coming on early today. I've got an afternoon is pretty well packed with some commitments and getting ready for a presentation tomorrow. And so I want to get on here early. G-Force. G stands for gratitude. And gratitude is a very powerful principle when we understand and how to apply it in everything that we do. We get a different perspective, different outlook, gives us hope, gives us a lot of power that's within us to deal with all the positive things, how to redirect that in a different way. And when we have difficulties, gives a different perspective. I started learning these principles a long time ago in my coaching, but I took a deeper dive in it through Gratitude Works. And we covered that early on in G-Force. So today I just wanted to acknowledge, hey, good morning, Ted. I saw your Facebook post. Hey, prayers to you. And I'll be out to see you next week, coming to see you down there in the hospital. So keep the faith, do the work. All will work out, my friend. Thanks for jumping on, Ted. But gratitude is very powerful. We like Ted, when we go to a space of gratitude and value the things that are important to us, that, I believe the most important moments you have in life is this very moment. No matter what's happening, no matter the difficulties, the pain you're going through, the disappointments and setbacks, because we can look at those things and grab a hold something of value to move us forward. Because if we don't move forward with a different perspective, we will be stuck and stay in that cycle, that rat hole, or that spiral down, the drain hole in that. But when you move to gratitude, everything does change. So today we're going to get back in this book, Start With Your Why. But I'm going to just dive in a moment, but I just wanted to bring some announcements up. Elizabeth, awesome. Stay on. Glad to see you. We need to connect. Kathy and I would like to get together with you. So message us. We can find a time to chat. There's an awesome lady. She's gone through coaching. She shifted her life around. She has more purpose and why and clarity, and awesome lady. I'm glad to know her. And Eric, thanks for jumping on this morning. Thank you much for blessed to get another day. Absolutely. I love the exclamation, a little bit of energy and passion behind that. So gratitude powers your why. But before I get into that, I want to make some announcements. I'm shifting some things within G-Force, not taking away from the teaching and those type of things. But I want to bring some announcements outside G-Force. Mark Gassert and I, Elevate Your Profits, tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're bringing in tonight's guest, Bud Matthews. And I'll just bring a picture of him up. Good looking dude. And he's the founder of Ascend Performance, Employee Selection Development. Bud comes from, I met Bud several years ago at a Toastmaster. He's a very significant, he's a top speaker in Toastmaster. He's won some of the highest awards in Toastmasters. So he's going to be able to articulate a very good message. The way he communicates, but his why is really strong. That's why he's having success that he has. But so this is the company that he's created, and we're going to bring him in tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern. So turn on your notifications, Mark Gassert and I. And the other thing I wanted to do is reestablish is what you see behind me is going to be going away. I'm going to be painting my walls, and I'll be putting up my corporate sponsor, a company that I'm associated with, and the resources that come from is going to allow me to bring different guests in that can deliver a solid why message in life and how gratitude works. So you're going to be seeing this change here in the next several weeks. While I change the color of the wall and move some of my artwork and stuff around in my office, but it will be a branded backdrop in a corporate sponsor. And this is everything we're going to do is going to be powered by And as we go through here, I'm moving on Tuesdays. I'll be doing a teaching program in and around I'm not quite sure what I'm going to call it, but I'm going to say powered by molecules. Powered by molecules. We're talking about what redox molecules are and what C is doing. And this is going to be sort of, I'm having fun here today. I just created this. This is going to be the opening. I was muted the entire time. But make a long story short, that's my backdrop. My wall is going to be changing. It's going to have a company logo on it. That's my sponsor. And it's going to allow me to bring guests in. I can go out, and a lot of the guests come in that will do it and offer their advice for free. But I want to even go out further than that to bring some people that the costs associated with doing G-Force. And a C is going to be my corporate funding on this. So I'm going to take this logo off. Let me see. Got too many stuff up here. But anyway, that's a convoluted message this morning. I had my mic turned off, so hope it came across. But last week, I did an impromptu interview with a young lady in Ken Wall's program, and understanding your why. And she had a very great why story or purpose in that. So when you get grounded on your why, everything around you starts shifting. Things start showing up. It helps you deal with those things more effectively. Thanks, Ted. So last week, I want to get back into last week's teaching, and we're in the third chapter. This is probably the first two chapters are about the assumptions we make and how we form our attitude, what our belief systems are. And this is what I coach. You got to get rid of all that programming and conditioning. Our identity, your identity, a lot of people say, I'm Tom Ginn. I'm a coach. I'm a football player. I'm a mother. I'm a father. We get hung up in an identity, and it's not the essence of who you really are. How can you communicate that? So you've got to get rid of the cultural programming, the assumptions. And then number two, we get into, in the essence of business, we get into rationalizing that you got to be competitive. You got to have better pricing. You got to bring more value, which is always important. But there's a misconception of how that's going to help you grow your business. The how-tos don't work by themselves. You got to have a stronger reason. And I remember sitting down with Bob Proctor in the early days in my coaching. I went to Toronto. I like sharing this story because it woke me up, because I was operating at a false belief system. It was real to me because it's how I was programmed. And I sat down with Bob, and he looked at my business plan, asked me a few questions. My business plan would say it would be a $1.5 million business. And he asked me some questions personal around my beliefs about business and money and sales and all these type of things. Now, I've been in business since 1983, so I've had some success in that arena, but I've also failed. And the reason I failed is because I didn't understand what he was teaching until I got coached. But you learn from those things. And I remember him saying this distinctly. Tom, the best plans of the world won't work for you. I can give you anybody's business plan that has success, and they won't work for you. And it may not work for you. What is your belief system? What's your relationship? What identity do you tie to with regards to money or lack of money or success? What is your identity? And mine was limited program. Now I've had success, and most eyes people say, gee, Tom really gets out there and gets after it. Yeah, I'm persistent. I work hard, but I always stopped at a threshold that was programmed into me. And then I had another mentor come in, taught me more power about the why, even before I really started getting into Simon Sinek's book, Discovering Why, Crafting My Why. Why am I here? What am I willing to die for? And I remember my conversation with Art Williams. I was in the first decade of A.L. Williams. I was in that industry for 20 some years, 23, I believe, off the top of my head. But I remember meeting Art on his boat, actually his yacht, and I had earned the opportunity to have a consultation time, personal time with him, and for 90 minutes. Now that didn't sound like a lot, but I was there. It was probably one of the best 90 minutes that I've ever spent early on in learning how this thing works. And he asked me, Tom, what is your crusade? Willie, what are you willing to stand up and die for? In all areas of your life, not just in business, and having integrity around business, giving truthful information and doing it for the right reasons and causes, the whys. Because if you don't have a strong crusade, or a Simon Sinek say why, you're going to live a life of mediocrity, frustration, and you'll die with regrets. And that was my first understanding at a very elementary level. And I applied that without any conscious thought. That was sort of, I took it and I applied it, and it resonated with me. And that's how I walked my life in financial services. And as I've moved in other businesses, I always resonate back to my why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? I don't do things just because I can make more money someplace else. Selling a product or service, I did that in the home improvement sales, roofing, siding, and construction. I was good at it. I knew how to analyze stuff and do all that stuff. But my why wasn't strong. So I had success, but I didn't have a strong why around what I was selling. If I would have had a different why, who knows where I'd have been with that company. But it's all related to your why. So we're going to get into the why here just for a short business day. We're still in chapter 3. Chapter 3. And most people, and we go to network meetings, we go to online stuff, and people say, what do? We immediately tell them what we do and how we do it, our credentials, your experience, and all that stuff. That's all fine and well. There's a place to put that in order when you're building that conversation, but it doesn't differentiate you from, if you're a CPA, guess what? I come to find out all CPAs study the same stuff, no matter what university they go to. They teach the same fundamentals, the same processes, same tax laws, how to do this and how to analyze stuff. No differentiation. Whether you went to Stanford or Harvard or got your degree and master's in accounting, you're all learning the same. There's no differentiation, significant differentiation, other than maybe you went to school. That doesn't mean you're better just because you have a high-powered credential behind your name. Doesn't mean you're proficient at it. So anyway, we get hung up on the wrong things. And I'm going to start again in Apple Computer. This is where most people describe what they do. I'm going to read this. We make computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Do you want to buy one? That's the same talk that Dell talks about. Any of the other companies, there's no differentiations because they're all claiming that they're make computers, they're beautiful, easy to use, and user-friendly. You want to buy one. That's where most people come in crafting their why in business. Hello, Robert. Yeah, I'm going to get into that. They created a movement. They created something, and I'm going to cover that today. What they created with this. So let's take a look at that statement and recraft it. And this is what they did. And this is their statement. Everything we do, believe in changing the status quo. Interesting. That would have my interest right away. We believe in thinking differently. Well, how do you think differently? What is the different? What do you think different about? The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user friendly. Have you noticed there's no reference to what they do and how they do it and what they make? They have identified their grounding why. And by the way, we just happen to make computers. So you got to take your why in your business and craft it to that it is the why. I've got my whys clearly identified. It didn't come overnight. It took some work. Does that feel different? Which message causes you to be pulled in to have conversation, to find out more? The why resonates. That's an emotional appeal. See, folks, we don't operate, all our decisions, how we move forward and everything is at an emotional level. Then we'll justify logic and reason based on our previous conditioning to justify why we move forward or make a decision. And we will many times use that poor programming to continue doing the same thing over and over again because we're programmed. And that's a cycle that people get in. This is what the author says, Simon Sinek. There is no trickery. We talked about it in lesson 2 about manipulation. You don't want to use things to manipulate. You've got to be truthful, straightforward, transparent when you're dealing with whoever you are and what you do. There's no trickery. How many times do we see conversations or trickery? There's no manipulation. That's a dangerous place to be in when you manipulate people. There is no free stuff. See, it goes back to this, the conditioning we had before in business. I got to give something away free. I got to, and it's fine giving value. There's a difference between giving stuff free, but giving value that's worthy, that will cause people in, tied to your why. There's no aspirations messages, and there's no celebrities. See, a lot of times we look at marketing and advertising, we got to have all those things to be able to move around. Their message starts with the why, a purpose, a cause or belief that's nothing to do with what they make. Has nothing to do with what they make or what they do. And it goes on a little bit here, just expounding on that. That's why I encourage you to get this book. This is probably one of the best books you can use to help craft your why, get your clarity on purpose. And he says this, it's worth repeating. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And then we look at other companies. You take a look of how do other companies message? In many companies, big and small, still talk a lot about what they sell, not why they sell it. The real masters understand the why. And a lot of times we look at companies, the external factors, the whys, what creates the why, the external factors. And see, when you look at Apple and you look at Dell and HP and Gateway's no longer around, I wonder why, Toshiba, you just pick any one of them. Because there's no real differentiation, no difference between Apple in any of those computer companies. They're corporate structures. And that's where a lot of people get hung up on the corporate structure, the business entity, whatever it is. They're getting hung up on that. And they're promoting their business structure. And then you look, when a company has a strong why, number one, they know where they're going and their purpose and all that. And guess what they attract to them? The people that buy into that why, and their talk, their actions, and everything they do parrots or repeats exactly what Apple mission is. They create, and he makes a reference here. If somebody gets hired on at Apple, they're there not because they're the most talented, because I guess what? The most talented don't always give you the results you're seeking. Okay? But they draw the right people in that will aspire them to be more creative, be able to let them expand their purpose and what they do and grow. And guess what? People that work at Apple don't leave. They don't leave. So if you're looking and have a company, and Bud will talk about this, if you don't have the right culture, people tied into your vision and why, you're easy pickings for your competitor. They don't leave. He calls it a cultish type of environment. That's positive. It can also be negative, but their purpose is for the right reasons. And then what is it? Creating a movement. What they did is, when you talk to anybody that uses Apple, they're cultish. There is nothing better than what they have. You can't persuade them otherwise. They've created their why to create that following. And they don't lose their customers. They just continue creating more beautiful, more easy to use, friendlier products and all those type of things. And guess what? Those customers grow and expand and rebuy over and over again. Every year they're buying a new device because they made one little tweak, and they've got to have the next greatest innovation. Guess what? There's other companies that have some of those innovations before Apple does. Maybe better camera lenses and all the crazy stuff that's out there on these devices that we have. I don't have an Apple. Never have had an Apple product because I'm accustomed to using somebody else's product. Whether it's better or not relevant to me. It does what I want it to do. So I'm stuck on that. So knowing your why is going to cut across all levels of your life, in business, in all those things. So start with your why. Get some help and coaching. Study this book. You'll give you some reason. Oh my gosh, I think this way. What I've culturally been programmed, and what my intentions are, and what's my identity, and all those type of things, they're false. To get your why, you got to get them out of the way. Totally out of the way. And when you have a strong why in the purpose you're doing, everything around you changes. The right people show up. The right opportunities show up. The right customer shows up. The right person in relationship will show up. I love what Dr. Miles Monroe says, the power of your vision. It will dictate everything in life, and get clarity of your vision, purpose, and why. Nothing will get in your way. Nothing. What are you willing to fight for and die for? Most people without clear visions and purpose and whys, the first obstacle, they give up or they downsize. So if you want to really propel your life in all areas of life, get a vision. Get an outlook of what the end result looks like. What would be your eulogy? What it would say about you and what you contributed to the world? Is it just about all the good times and parties you had and all the ornaments of the world you accumulated, the cars, the trucks, the houses, the boats, the vacations? Or are they saying, Tom Ginn changed the world? He changed my life. He influenced me to a better understanding of my fullest potential. What is the legacy that people want? Write your vision starting with your eulogy and work it back. And get this book. This will help you do that. So I wanted to get on early today. I just want to compliment Robert. I don't have an Apple either, but I need a new journal. Excuse me. If you ever want to reach out, Robert, and be glad to give you some insights or anything about help you create that with clarity. One of the things too, using recording it and putting it down and transcribing, but I guarantee you, if you do something with the pen as you write it, it reprograms your neuroconnectivity, enhances your creativity. It's a whole different process. This is your genius. Listening to something is important, but taking those thoughts and now transferring them in paper, you move to a whole different level of understanding, more creativity. There's science behind that as well. So with that all said, I want to thank everybody, Robert, Eric coming on, Elizabeth, Ted, buddy, I'll be down next week to see you. I'm going to bring you some stuff, my friend. I hope it'll get you in a greater path to healing. So keep up the positive attitude, believe in the outcome, and everything's going to work out. So with that all said, have a great day. Make it a great day. G is for gratitude. Do the work. Get the book. Identify your why. If anybody wants to reach out to me, you can contact me via my email's in this link right here. My email is here. Excuse me. My email is right in there. My calendar's there if you ever want to reach out to me. Linktree / 4 Rivers. With that all said, have a great day. God bless you. Move forward with gratitude. How you deal with this moment dictates the next moment, and it will also dictate what happens in the future. Have a great one. Bye.